Is the sort of thing that Meghan Markle apparently and Prince Harry truly loathed about their time being inside the British monarchy. They didn't want to share things about their own personal lives, or indeed, as Prince Harry is now battling in the royal courts of justice, he wants to make sure that he deals with the media in his own way. However, the Prince and Princess of Wales, Catherine and William, really do understand the fact that as a future monarch, which is of course what Prince George will be one day, then they have to, well, invite people into their lives, show them exactly what's happening. And so it came as no great shock to learn earlier this week that Prince George, along with Catherine and William, paid a visit to one of the most prestigious schools, literally, in the world. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Now, what were your school days like? Mine, what I would say is, well, I learned, and once I'd learned what I needed to learn, I decided I was going to switch off. You know what it's like. There were certain things you enjoyed, weren't there? But you do have to look back and think how much use really was algebra. And of course, in my era, we were just about allowed to use calculators, but it was frowned upon. And I do kind of think now that it was a lot better to learn arithmetic in your head, wasn't it? Because it just, when you go around the shops, you can add it up, can't you? You think, that's about £6 or £8. So you're well ahead of the game by the time you get to the counter, which we pointed out recently was when they decided not to lower the prices despite the lemon stickers. Yes, you see, everything comes in the end. Totally different, of course, if you're a member of the British monarchy, because you have to go to a reputable school. There are none more reputable than Eton. Been round it, wonderful place, spectacular when you think. And also, a lot of people snide and comment about the private school system. But, I'm sure if we all have the opportunity, we would look at that as an option for our children. It's a simple case of it, isn't it? You learn a lot more, and more important, there's more attention paid to you. But of course, we've read and heard about in previous sort of stories how certain royal children didn't enjoy their time at private school, including His Majesty the King. So why have William and Catherine now decided to cast their eye over Eton? Well, it's quite simple, really. Catherine herself doesn't want George to board. She really wants him to be able to return every night. This is her modern way of parenting, making sure you have a connection. They don't feel cut off, that type of thing. And even if he was to say stay over 2 or 3 nights to gain a little bit of independence, then that would be naturally mooted in at a later point. And obviously what you have to remember is that both William and Catherine are now going to be permanently based out at Windsor, which is only a stone's throw away to Eton. So again, making perfect sense. I don't know about you, but the thing that makes me think, wow, where's that time gone? I remember covering the very first school day of Prince George out at his school in Battersea, and everybody being incredibly excited. And there he was, this little young boy coming down with his mum and his dad. And I thought, wow, this is a day to remember. And now suddenly, as we saw recently on the King's coronation, he looks certainly a little bit more grown up, and next year going to be 10. So as one can imagine, these are the formative years when you make those big decisions. And of course, a lot of people are slamming the monarchy over here for sending George potentially to Eton. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As I say, one day he's going to become our king, and we would like him naturally to have the best education possible. Or am I wrong? As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. And before people say anything, I do find it quite endearing. They're nice, really, that Catherine and William do share these things because, well, he looked particularly terrified. You can imagine, can't you, going to the big school. It must have been nice to have them both there. And whether you like it or not, photographers who he has become very close to and aware of, all documenting this rise through his life. After all, it becomes royal history. As ever, let me know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Should he go to Eton or should he go to a normal state school? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.